The House Speaker is going to need a whole lot of spackle and sandpaper to fix this mess. Mike Johnson has been anointed Mr. Fix-It after the Senate left the swamp in shambles for their recess.
He hit the White House today to meet with President Trump and try to smooth out some of the drama causing this bill bottleneck after what can only be described as a disastrous week for congressional Republicans.
And the president has no problem putting them on notice, writing on Truth, quote, House Republicans should unify and stop voting down rules or threatening to do so, giving power to the radical left Democrats in the House to control what goes up for a vote will make our outcomes worse, not better. No more grandstanding, please.
The Senate dipped today for 19 days after the president bucked his plans to sign the housing bill. That is, until the Save America Act is passed. But instead of scheduling a floor vote, senators unanimously decided to be on their merry way for the 4th of July recess.
The House, which has passed the Save America Act count them 3 times now, is MAD ticked off. So Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna has shut down the House floor, frozen it, until senators get back to work and finally pass this voter ID bill, meaning Speaker Mike Johnson cannot do much of anything with his agenda. The House canceling votes for tomorrow and next week's lineup is in jeopardy too. Hence, Johnson's visit with the big man today.
And we've got to get things moving. There is a frustration the president has expressed about the unwillingness of Senate Democrats to do anything that follows common sense and follows public opinion. We passed the SAVE Act 3 times in the House. We'll do it again. We're working on that, and I'm going to talk with the president about these issues and how to get the agenda moving again.
The speaker tonight saying he and the president are exactly on the same page and that, quote, he wants to ensure that we stop any blockade in the House, and adding, not to fret, it's another day at the office. This is a process in an era with small margins, but we'll get the job done. Remember, FISA remains expired too, and President Trump says that key surveillance program stands no chance of renewal until Save America is passed.
There's a lot riding on this legislation, and yesterday, Boss Man made it clear. Changing his stance is not up for negotiation.
Would you be open to a compromise measure that had provisions of the SAVE Act into a reconciliation?
Not really, no. The SAVE Act should be, there's no compromise. It's voter ID, it's proof of citizenship.
For more, let's bring in Pennsylvania Congressman Scott Perry. Congressman, you were one of 32 nays on that housing bill, and I'll call it a big butt smooch to Elizabeth Warren. So I will just argue, if that's the kind of legislation that will get passed, doing nothing is A-OK.
Well, I hate to say it, but I tend to agree with you. I mean, I'd rather be doing something. And of course, Dagan, great to be on with you guys. Brian, thank you. I voted in favor of the House Road to Housing bill, which passed earlier on a bipartisan basis this year. But we sent it to the Senate. Elizabeth Warren took control and, sent it back to us with, federal zoning controls, getting local governments to buy trailer parks and then institute rent controls, all those kind of things. That doesn't make housing more affordable. It makes it more socialist. And of course, you guys know this more than anybody. It's generally speaking, the federal government's involvement in the housing market that has made the unaffordability problem so stark. And you couple that with out of control spending in Washington, D.C., and people can't afford homes. And so I'm glad that the president has decided it's terrible. But I would say this. I wish we would have put the Save America Act on that bill and sent it back to the Senate. Maybe since Democrats want socialized housing so much, maybe they'd be willing to vote for the Save America Act if we included it with that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I watched what you were saying about the Save America Act just today, and you said something that I think is so basic and so important. We just mentioned that the Senate's off on vacation for 19 days. You said the Senate is supposed to be anyway, the world's greatest deliberative body. They should come to work, they should debate these things, and they should hold votes. I can understand it's a sausage-making process. I cannot understand how a bill that is so popular among so many people in the country and the Senate goes on break rather than working overtime to try to get the dumb thing done.
Yeah, I think it's utter contempt for the American people. This is a bipartisan approved bill. Both Democrats, Republicans, and independents, everybody, generally speaking, favors this at very high margins. And all House members are saying, look, obviously we want it to pass. We've passed it. The president wants it to pass. The American people want it to pass. But if you're, at a minimum, have the debate and have the vote. Don't tell us you don't have the votes. Show us. And then at least we'll know who's with us and who's not with us. But they don't even have the vote, and then they just go home. It's outrageous.
But what kind of Republicans are they, Congressman? Because in the past, with the SAVE Act, over in the Senate, it's never received more than 48 votes. So even if the filibuster got blown up, it potentially still wouldn't pass. And I don't know where some of these Republicans stand, to Brian's point, when this legislation is that popular.
Look, you don't like to pick on your own team, but you got to call them the way you see them. These are the balls and strikes. And yeah, we got some Republicans who apparently hate Donald Trump more than they love their country, and they've made it personal. But I don't want to just pick on them because, look, there's some due criticism there, obviously. But let's remember, not one Democrat, zero Democrats will vote for this. And again, there are a lot of Democrats across the country that want this to happen, too. They know that people should be producing their identification, and that only American citizens should be voting in American elections. Those are common sense themes. Those are not Republican and Democrat. Those are just American themes.
I think when you talk about the midterms, you got to have something to show people. You got to show them what work you did. I know you had the big, beautiful bill last year, and that's great. Right. But I'm looking at Republicans this year, and it's like, what have you done? And the Save America Act is a centerpiece thing you can show people and say, this is maybe the most important legislation in a generation to deal with one of our critical bedrocks of democracy. But if that's not there, Congressman, I don't know what you got.
Well, I think it's going to be difficult, obviously. Look, the good news for Republicans who aren't able to get the SAVE Act passed is that the Democrats have gone crazy, full socialist, anti-Semitic, pro-Islamic terror. That's that party, right? So, there's criticism on both sides. But again, I would just say this. Look, Americans can understand if you can't win the vote. But what they don't understand is not even trying. So to me, you ought to have the debate. I don't care if it takes 8 minutes, 8 hours, or 8 days, or 8 weeks. Have the debate and then have the vote. That's all we're asking for. And if you fight and lose, Americans can accept that. But what they can't accept is surrender before you even have the fight. That doesn't go.
Oh, but they're going to crow Republicans about this bipartisan goulash of garbage known as this housing bill, where it includes we get a hotline where renters, if you rent from an institutional owner, you get to call the government to rat on your landlord. You want to talk about a road to socialism? Well, here it is. And
it also puts the temperature controls in the landlord's hands. How many people want to rent a place where the landlord's controlling the temperature?
Yep.
Good point. Congressman, good to see you today. Thanks for being with us.
Great to see you. God bless you.
All right.
Bless you, sir.